Hello, Tracy here and welcome back to the garden, back in Neath, South Wales. So it's almost mid-October and the weather has been quite good here. The temperatures haven't really got that cold yet, but I've got a few little things that I wanted to get on with today in the garden, so let's make a start. So the first thing that you'll probably notice is that last weekend I was quite busy trimming back the tetrapanax. And really I just wanted to give this bed a little bit more light. The tetrapanax leaves will die back anyway throughout the winter. And what I was finding is that it wasn't really allowing the water, the rainwater, to get to the plants underneath as the leaves were so big. So hopefully now the underneath will do a little bit better. So underneath the tetrapanax from the other side, this is what I've got growing as underplanting, and I want to have a little look at that today. But the first thing that I wanted to show you is now that I've trimmed this back, you can see a little bit more of these flowers. They're very slow in opening up, and I'm still waiting to see what these are going to look like. So this is the first year now that I've had any flowers on it, and this plant is 3 years old. So it's grown into quite a large plant really in 3 years. But hopefully these will bloom pretty soon. So we have had quite a bit of rainfall recently. And the one thing that I noticed is moving the other side of the path now. I've got an old tree trunk there. And if I just move that grass away, just look in there. I've got mushrooms growing, so they've got to be cleared away too today. Now this garden waste bag is what I've taken out of the garden in just 1 week, and it's full to the brim. Now I know that this could be composted, but unfortunately my compost bin is full to the brim and I just can't take any more. And I've also spent today just tidying up some of the old growth off my cordyceps, so these now can go in the garden recycling. Now along the path on the right hand side, I'm not really fussed with what I've got growing under there. It doesn't really give a lot of interest. So I want to have a look today at what I can move around and just make that into a little bit of a nicer space. So one job that I do try and keep on top of is just keeping the pond clear. I don't think there's anything living in it now, but I still like to keep the top of the pond. looking a little bit clearer. This is duckweed here on the top, and if there was anything living in it, it's best to clear away some of this. Not all of it, as it does feed whatever's inside, but too much and it just takes away some of the oxygen that the wildlife need. So I'll just give this now, what I've planted in, a good water, and then I'll take you around and show you what I've planted in the new spots. But before then, it's time to take a quick break, and I'm going to have a nice cup of autumnal cinnamon roll latte, and I'm just going to sit out in the garden and enjoy this lovely weather. Make the most of it while I can before the rain comes down. So let's take a look now around the garden. I'm nice and refreshed now after my coffee. So let's have a little look and see what I've planted. So as you can see now, the mind your own business is dying back a little bit now, but it will come back next year. So just along the front now, I've just planted a few heucheras and a fern, and just over that side a little small nandina. So the Schefflera Taiwaniana is looking fantastic, and I think that plant now is about 2 or 3 years old, so it's done really well. And just looking now underneath the bamboo, I'm much happier with that. Just a little change really in the garden, just to add a few little colours and textures underneath the bamboo. What I've moved over to this side is the volcano fern, and I was messaged this morning by one of my subscribers who said to me that apparently the volcano ferns aren't really that hardy in the UK. Now the label says -5, but she said to me that it's more like -3. And that's quite sad news, as it's quite a lovely fern. It's got some lovely leaves on it, and I'm hoping that it will survive. So it's quite protected in amongst the other plants. So fingers crossed on this one, I hope anyway. Now I don't really know what's going wrong with my Euphorbia wolfenii. It normally looks completely full of life, and I've never seen it looking like this before. It's really looking sad at the moment, but I'm not going to do anything about it. Could be the change in the weather, but we haven't really had any cold weather here yet, and definitely no freezes. So the top of the stems do look nice and healthy. So maybe it's completely normal for this plant. But I've never seen mine looking anything like this before. So fingers crossed on this one too. So all the underplanting now in this area of the garden, I've just given a really good water, as even though we've had loads of rain, it's been quite dry. And over to this side of the garden, I've removed them mushrooms too. And the good news is the tree trunk had completely rotted away. So that was easy to pull up to. But the garden is looking really good, and there's still plenty of flowers around. Now my largest cordyline in the garden, I don't know if you can see there, but there's one area of it that's looking quite brown. And I think I found the culprit of that. And I think what's been happening is when the tetrapanax leaves have been overhanging, the rainfall has been going onto that and just flooding the plant with water. So it is looking really healthy apart from that. But right there now, there's a big brown patch. So maybe I'll just trim off some of these and just tidy it up a bit and hopefully get it to look a little bit better. Right, so I've had a little trim back of this plant now, and it is looking a lot better. I didn't film myself pulling these off, as you'll probably think that I was being a little bit brutal. But this is the way I've always done it, and so far it's always survived. So let's show you what's come off this plant. Just look at all those. And looking at it now from a distance, it actually looks a lot healthier than it did before. I've also been trimming back some of the persicaria in the garden, and in doing so I noticed, just look how big that trunk is now on that musabaju. This is the oldest one that we've got in the garden, and it's grown into a huge size plant. So this plant is 3 years old, so we did lose it the first year right down to the ground. But I have trimmed back some of the leaves now, so it's not really looking its best. But this year we've had one good sized pap on it. I don't know if you can see that in there. And we've also got a tiny one, but I don't think the small one will make it. But the other one should. And we started off with 3 in the garden, and now we've got 8. Now over the other side of the garden, this was where we had 1 musabaju last year, and that gave us 4 pups, and the pups now are the same size as the original plant. They are starting to slow down a bit now, but they're still looking fantastic in the garden. So when the sun goes in, the temperature definitely does drop, although it's still over 5 degrees in the evening, so it's not considerably cold yet. And the only thing that I've moved in the garden into the greenhouse is the agaves. And I also noticed today that the miscanthus grasses are now flowering. Lovely. I love this time of year. So it's been just a quick little video today, just to let you know what I'm up to. And if you haven't subscribed already, then why not subscribe to the channel? And until next time, I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.